Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at the Carlisle Ford Nationals in Pennsylvania, and guess what? We have an iconic car. This is a 1993 Ford Cobra R. But before we dive into this last of the Fox bodies, let's talk about what the Fox body generation is all about. So the Fox body Mustang went from 1979 all the way to 1993, and for me, being a product of the 80s and 90s as a kid, that really was the car to have. Especially in high school, a 5-liter Fox body Mustang was the car to have, especially for its lightweight and the way to modify it. There were and there still are so many companies that make modification abilities to this vehicle. It's just endless. Now, Ford decided to go out with a bang with 1993, and that's where they brought back the Cobra name. So what this is a product of SVT. SVT stands for Special Vehicle Teams, and basically that is the old school Ford Performance. When you see Ford Performance, that's what SVT was. Now with this Cobra R, this is really taking the Fox body platform to the extreme for that time period. Very, very rare car and very, very special car. So let's go ahead. We're gonna dive into this 1993 Ford Cobra R and see why is it the ultimate Fox body Mustang. Right off the bat, the styling. It reminds me back to the 1980s, 1990s, my years in high school. I remember reading Car and Driver, Motor Trend, and drooling about this car, and very, very nice. This is actually my first time seeing an R. I've seen 93 SVT Cobras, but this is actually my first time seeing an R in person. We're actually gonna start at the tail end of the business on this particular little review that we got here. So when we talk R, we're talking about the highest performance. Now 0 to 60 may not seem like anything earth shattering, but you're basically looking at 0 to 60 in about 5.7 seconds, and you're looking around 235 or so horsepower. So this is really where we start to see performance gains coming back to the game. But at the tail end of the business, unique not only to the Cobra, but especially this Cobra R, is this rear wing. So if you know about Fox bodies, you could have it a couple different ways. You get a Mustang GT that had a specific wing. You could go just a Mustang LX that had a different wing. You go hatchback, notchback. So you had choices there. This was unique to the Cobra. I love that pedestal style in the center and the way it wraps around. You got that classic Ford badge there, and then the other classic badge is the Cobra. Now, this is not a Shelby product. There's no association with Shelby. It's specifically a SVT Cobra, and they just made about 303 of these, if you could believe that. Love the dual exhaust on the old Fox bodies, and one thing that I really loved about this over the Mustang GTs, the Mustang GT had more body work, and it kind of made the car heavier. I liked, well, not only heavy in reality on the scales, but also just visually made it very heavy. Loved on the Cobra how they slimmed up the rear bumper, nice and small. You got your dual exhaust here, one exhaust on each side, nice slash cut. Let's go around the bend and see what is unique about this Cobra. Now, one thing being an R model, no rear seat, no sound deadening, no radio, no AC. Yes, so you're gonna have to sweat it out in this Cobra R. But as you can see, looking through the rear glass, normally you would see a massive rear seat back there. It's just some carpet. They even eliminated the sound deadening. Another thing I almost forgot, thankfully Henry Ford II just spoke to me, is the tail lights. These lights are specific to the Cobra and the Cobra R. The GT had these like louvered lights, and the LX had a totally different style. Now, here's a little fun fact for you. On the Fox body Mustangs, you could actually pop off the lenses without taking the whole housing out. And I remember back in college, I had a friend that had a Mustang GT, and every time we would go to downtown Orlando, he would always pop the lenses off himself and put them in the trunk so nobody would steal them. Because you could basically get about $250 for a pair of lenses back in the mid-90s there. So he would pop them off and put them in his trunk so nobody would steal them. That's just a little fun fact from me to you. Now, when we're looking at wheel and tire, don't expect some 20-inch wheel. Don't expect some low-profile tire. This is what we're working with, 17-inch wheel, split spoke design. It's got 3 split spoke design there. Nice chrome center cap with the classic tricolor Mustang. Everything right there wrapped up in Americana. All I need is a slice of apple pie and a hot dog, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Now, you'll see that these did have one of the high performance tires of the time, those Goodyear Eagle ZR45 tires. All four corners, you're gonna get different springs and Coney dampers, so Coney shock absorbers, all four corners. Love the way it just, the black with this beautiful red here, and then you got 245 on the width and 45 series sidewalls. So we're not even talking about like 30 series or anything like that. It just brings so many memories, so much history, not only for me, but for the car. You'll notice the rear fender. This is unique to that rear bumper area on the Cobra and the Cobra R. And as we come down the side on the Fox bodies, you have a very, very large rear corner window. The great news is the Fox bodies were so small, a lot smaller than Mustangs today and Mustangs from the past. I think anything that would compete with it would be a Mustang 2, but we're trying to forget about the Mustang 2. Now, as we come towards the front, you'll notice that you have this lower side sill extension, unique to the Cobra R, and then looking inside, nothing but the business. Cloth interior, you got your 5-speed manual transmission, radio delete, AC delete on this particular car. And as we keep working towards our front, one of the things that I, of course, loved as soon as I saw it unveiled is you have that Cobra badge on the side. Remember, no association with Shelby, but still an iconic badge for an iconic car. And really, with this being so rare, the prices on these have gone through the roof. I mean, even for a Cobra, you want an SVT Cobra with decent mileage, you're looking at about $40,000 if everything else makes sense with the condition. Something like this, I couldn't even imagine. I'm thinking like $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. There's only 303 of them. Continuing towards the front, you'll notice that it does not have a radio antenna because we took the radio out, so that just cleans that up. And then coming out front, what was unique about this vehicle is gonna be this front fascia and grille. So something totally separate from the Mustang GT. You have this open air area in the center with that smaller Mustang right in the center. And I love the way that they designed the lower grille opening here. Even fog lamps. So when we're talking about taking everything out of this car, even the fog lamps have been removed, because normally like on a Mustang GT, you would have the fog lamps down there. But cars like these, so iconic, and it's great to see people starting to appreciate what the Fox body did for the Ford Mustang. It really was a time period where performance was coming back. One of the wonderful things is if you ever get a chance to pop the hood on one of these Mustang Cobras or the Cobra R, is the intake plenum. You know, it's almost like a lost art. That intake plenum is so beautiful. Just the way it's designed and shaped. There's no plastic covering up the whole engine, and they're so easy to work on. So easy. I mean, I remember once, here's a little story, my neighbor actually called the police on moi because my buddy with his Mustang 5-liter Fox body in '92, we were changing out a drive shaft on it. She thought that we were running a speed shop out of my parents' house when I was in high school. So that's a little fun fact. They called my dad's house the Snap-on Central because he had all the Snap-on tools and whatnot. But if it's special Mustangs like these that you want to keep seeing, a lot of history, a lot of heritage, it's not always about performance, because remember, back in 1993, this was performance at the time. If you want to keep seeing this kind of stuff on Rainey's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worth coming back for more. The great news is that with the R, this is going to keep that history going, and it's nice to see where we came from, because that's where we're going here at Ford Performance. They keep bringing it and bringing it big. Shelby GT350R, we got the GT500. It's going to be exciting to see where Ford is going in the future with their performance models and everything that goes with it. But nice to always go back to the early years, see where we came from, and with this Cobra R being just one of 303 examples, it's mind-blowing to see it in this condition, to see it here, and we have definitely more to come. So if you want to keep seeing stuff like this on Rainey's Rides, these awesome Fox buys, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rainey's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you, click the link in the description, give yourself some Rainey's Rides merch. We plan on filming more from Carlisle and the Ford Nationals. I got to give it up to my wonderful wife, Lori, working that camera like a champ. Show her some love in that comment section. She's loving these Fox body Mustangs. Her sister actually had a Fox body Mustang, and seeing this car brought memories back for her, and she's really just loving learning about the history of what this car is all about. But at the end of the day, just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.